Hi, this is Lleooneiro, and this is my head under a blanket, and I'm going to teach you about Kabbalah. What is Kabbalah? There's a lot of talk about it these days, and there's a lot of misunderstanding about it, like there are most subjects. So I'm going to give you a rundown of who I am, why and how I know Kabbalah, and I'm going to teach you the real stuff about it. So I was born in 1980. I'm 45 years old. I started learning specifically about Kabbalah in 2005, so that's 21 years now, I think. I learned it through a friend who showed me some material from a group organization called Aurum Solis. You can look them up. And I went from there, and I learned from many sites, from people and from places online, and doing lots of deep, in-depth, long night and day research, leaving no stone unturned. And I ended up another place, which is Bnei Baruch, Kabbalah.info, which is headed by Ravi Michael Lightman, a PhD in biocybernetics out of Tel Aviv. Now, his position is the antithesis of the Kabbalah Center in the United States, run by the Bergs. The Kabbalah Center is noted for the red Kabbalah bracelets that you'll see on celebrities, and their method of teaching Kabbalah is an Islamically bent version. Now, Islam and Kabbalah, how does that work, right? Because you hear it's Jewish mysticism. Well, get the word mysticism out, because we're not even dealing with that, all right? What it is it's science, like anything else, and you can prove it with the scientific method by testing it, seeing if it works, and repeating it, and you'll find the results do work. You keep studying it and learning it in the depths of it all your life, and you will not be able to debunk it. So what is this information? Well, from a Western perspective, an English language perspective, since we're dealing with spirituality, right? Look to a place to reference it. It's in the Old Testament, in the Bible, right, which was written in Hebrew. And Genesis 3:22 is a great one, where it says that now that the humans' eyes are open and they have seen, or they have eaten from the tree of good and evil, lest they eat from the tree of life and become gods like us and live forever. Very telling statement. So the tree of life is at the heart of Kabbalah. Well, what is the tree of life, right? Or what is the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Most people can't figure that out. Well, very simply, and don't think anything has one definition, right? It's like anything. One language, one way of saying it, one time, on one video, or one anything, right? That's one way of looking at it, right? Now, if you're saying it correctly, another person could say it from a totally different perspective and see it a totally different way, right? But you'll find, if you look, that what they're talking about is the same thing. If it's incorrect, it won't match up. And how do you know which one's correct? Well, you got to look inside yourself and figure it out, and check the sources, and even me, and find out for yourself. So what is the tree of knowledge of good and evil? That's a false dichotomy, right? Let's just start there. That is good, evil, up, down, left, right, black or white, red or blue. Which team are you on? It's one way or the other. Do it or don't do it, to be or not to be, all this and that, right? And there's some truth there, because sometimes you end up in this situation. Well, am I going to do this or not do it? And that's as simple, right? And a lot of situations, you're put in a situation where it is a false dichotomy, where there's always a third or fourth or fifth or sixth or an unlimited amount of ways to do things, right? So it can be used as a weapon, it can be used to benefit you, and there you go. The tree of knowledge of good and evil leads you to, well, you have Adam and Eve, and then their two first kids, Abel and Cain, right? And we know what happened there, right? Cain, after being from the bloodline that ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, am I my brother's keeper? What, you didn't like what I had to bring to you? Well, I'm envious and jealous, and I'm going to get rid of him, right? So what do you think about that, right? He's confused as good old Cain was. Can't figure it out. Does not understand life, right? So the opposite would be death. Now, The tree of life, specifically, is, how should I put it? I'll take it this way. There's a very common diagram used in Western literature and mystery tradition of the tree of life. And you can call it pagan. Pagan, for the most part, is a word that means not Jewish, not from the Jewish tradition. So, I mean, it's wrong. It doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? It just means that it's not from their tradition and their system, which doesn't matter because they think their way of doing things is the only way of doing things, of course. So, we'll stop there, and I'll make part 2.